Hi everyone, it's Tina Rappy. I came on here just a minute ago and everything was sideways. So let me just double check something here. And okay, it looks like I'm going the right way. So if you guys can just say hi, give me a heart or a thumbs up so I know that you're seeing this. Okay, so Donna's watching, I can see that. Great. Okay, so I'm going to be looking back and forth to my monitor so I can see things too. Hey, Glenda, I'm glad it's better. You don't have to watch me sideways. So I just want to talk about while people are getting on. Hey, Donna. So over the weekend, I hosted a Fall Fest mini retreat. So it was all day on Saturday. I did it with one of my friends and team members, Colleen Curl. And one of the things, besides projects that we did the whole time, was I made some little treats. So the other day on my blog, I posted, let me grab it. I had posted a picture of this, and this uses the oh, for Pete's sake, let's see what it's called. I got it here, Pretty Pillow Box dies, and we made this, or I made this for them. And then I had also posted a picture of this, which is a little treat box that holds the mini jam jar. Okay, and I wanted to show you guys how to do this. Certainly you could do it with other paper and that, but it's pretty easy to do. So I wanted to show you that. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to move my camera down so that you'll be able to see what I'm working on here. All right, and all right, good. So let me just cover this up. I don't want to get you guys all dizzy as I'm moving the camera around. My holder for my phone for doing this tends to wiggle and move, so I think I could get you guys pretty darn ill if I kept it uncovered. Okay, so let me just make sure we've got things. Okay, and you're reading that right. Hi, Sheila. Okay, so as I said, this is the little container that we're going to make. Let me move that up out of the way. This is the container that we're going to make, and I used the Peaceful Place Designer Series paper. And certainly you could use anything. But I thought this was just really rich and elegant. And then I filled the jam jar with little Hershey nuggets, or Hershey Kisses. So I thought the silver with it went really well. Now, I do want to let you know that this container is not something that I designed the pattern for. I found it online, and a demonstrator, Karen Deloat, D-E-L-O-A-T, did a video on it. She spoke some English and some, I believe, German. And so that's where I got the idea for it. And then I just kind of changed things up, used different papers and changed some of the measurements a little bit. But so you're going to start with a piece of designer paper. And this measures 9 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get my paper trimmer out. And this is getting scored the long way. And I want it, actually I want it this way. So I want to score it at 1.5. And then at 5 1/4. And so with this, you want, let me do this. So I've got it scored right here and right here. So the 1.5 inch part is what you want on the bottom. Okay, so I wanted my trees to show here, and this part's going to get tucked under. So 1.5 and then 5 1/4. All right, and then I'm going to insert this in here, and we are going to score it at 2 1/4. 4.5, 6 3/4. So let me extend that out. And 9 inches. All right, so that's the trimming that we need to do on that, or the scoring. And then I'm going to do this really crisply here. Have you guys gotten this paper yet? I think this paper is just so absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I have it folded on the score lines, and I'm going to fold it on these other score lines, nice and crisp. And normally I would use my bone folder. I just find that on the video it's a little bit easier doing it this way. Okay, so this is going to make a box like that. But before we do that, we want to cut out this window here. All right, so with that, I'm going to use the stitched rectangle dies. And so if you use the biggest ones and you count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I want the 6th and the 7th, nope, the 5th and the 6th ones. So these two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th and the 6th one. Did I have that right? Let me just make sure. Yes. Okay. And then what I'm going to do on, this is where I've got the 3/4 inch side, so the smaller panel here. These are the two panels right here that we're going to concentrate on. And I'm going to put it so that it's approximately 1/2 inch from this fold line, and then equal distances there. And then I'm going to take the smaller one, and it's going to go, oh, hang on, I'm saying that backwards. This is for the other part. You want the smaller one right now, and it's going to go about right here. Okay, I'm going to run that through the die cutting machine, and by the magic of video, poof, I have one done. Okay, so you can see here how this came out of it. And then I took, let me show you here, on this, I'm going to cut out this piece from score line to score line. Yeah, this paper is so stunning. You don't have to do much to it, and it looks beautiful. And then on each of these bottom panels that are going to be the bottom of the box, we just want to cut up a tiny little notch so that we're not going to have as much bulk there. Hi, Carolyn. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we're snipping up each one of these. All right, and so this is what we end up with then. Our notch cut out there, our window cut out. Now we want to make this little silver band around here. And for that, I'm using some of the silver foil. And now we're using those number 5 and number 6 of the dies here. And what I found has worked really well is just using some Post-it label tape. You can use a Post-it note, but this is tape. This is like a Post-it note, and it's just handy to have it on a roll. And so what I'm doing here is I'm centering it on a piece of the foil paper, the silver foil, and I'm going to just hold those so that I have that even border around. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so I've got that, and then I would run this through the die cutting machine, and this is what we end up with. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put this on top. Let me grab the multi-purpose glue, because I found that this works best. All right, and what I want to do is put some around the edges here. It tends to hold it really well, and it dries pretty fast. And you don't have excess adhesive, like if I were using Seal. This is thinner than what the Seal dispenser is. All right, so I've got that over that little window. I'm going to get that in place. And I'm going to let it just sit there for just a minute, all right, for that to stick on there. In fact, what I found works really well is if you turn it over and then push it. But what we'll do right now, while we're just waiting for that to dry a little bit, is we're going to work on the insert piece. And that is, oops, that is this little piece down here on the bottom. So let me get it out of here and show you. If I didn't have this insert in here, when I put the jar in, the jar would sink down and I would have this part of the jar showing, and I didn't like that. So I made this little insert, this little stage, if you will, for the mini jam jar to sit in. Okay, so it just raises it up so that it's right at this window level. And so this measures 4 and 3, this measures 2 and 11/16. And I know you're going to freak out here. I'm sorry, it's 3 and 11/16. Hang on. Yeah, that's right. 3 and 11/16. What the heck is 11/16? I know you're wondering that. So let me get this up here where you can see. All right, here's the 3. Each little line is a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so here's 1/16, 2/16, 3/16. That's what we want. Hang on, my measurement doesn't sound right. I wrote it down, but it sure doesn't look right. So let me just double check this. So I don't want you guys to get frustrated in making it. Nope, I have it right. Okay, so it measures 3 and 3/16. Okay, and once you've got that cut to size, then you are going to score it at 1/2 inch on each of the 4 sides. Hi, Anne. So have you guys been making any Halloween treats or anything lately? I've been working on a few different things. Okay, and then with this, on each of those score lines, I'm just going to snip up on one side and then cut the corner. And then I'm going to turn it and snip up and cut the corner. We'll do that on all 4 sides. Just like that. So this is for the insert. Let me move this out of the way. And this is what we have. I'm going to fold this on all the score lines. Well, good, Anne. I appreciate you coming to watch. And you're from Wisconsin. Where in Wisconsin? I live in Edgerton, just south of Madison. Okay, so we have this with our 4 little triangles. And what we're going to do here now is we are going to glue, put a little glue on the triangle and close this up. So we're going to make this little stage. So we've got that, and we'll do this on all 4 corners. Montford, where's that? I've heard of it. All right, let's get this on all 4 corners. One more. There we go. Okay, so our little stage is done. Donna, what are you doing in Dallas? Where are you headed to? You left Nebraska and you're on vacation? Okay, so we've got our little stage. I'm going to set that aside here now because I am guessing that this is set. Yes, it is. Okay, so let me fold this on all. So Donna, I'm guessing that you're on vacation. Sharon's in Florida, yes. Between Dodgeville and Fenimore, okay. Yeah, so that's not all that far from me, Anne. On my way to see my daughter in Kentucky. Good for you. Dave and I are actually leaving next week for a mini vacation. I have a milestone birthday, let's call it, next Friday on the 5th. So we are leaving on the 4th. We're going to take a 3-day cruise. We have not been cruising. We have not been anywhere since my 2020 Stampin' Cruise that I host. And that was right before the pandemic happened. So we're anxious to go. Okay, so now what we're going to do here, we've already snipped these, right? And we have our window on. Now on each of these score lines, we're cutting up to the little, whoops, you can't see that, right up to here. Hi, Donna. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're going to cut right up to each of those. And this one we're cutting off. Okay. And now what we want to do is to glue each of these down, or use your seal for it. I just find when I am making treat containers, the glue works great. One more. Okay. All right, now we've got that folded down, so that's kind of like a hem on the top of this. And now we're going to make it into the box. So on this part here, this is where we're going to make the adhesive. I'm going to show you a little trick. A lot of times when people make treat containers or something, they'll try and line this up here, but sometimes you get it off a little bit. The easiest way to do it is lay this so this is flat, so the adhesive is this side up, and now just bring your flap over and line it right up. Okay? So we have this. Okay? So we've got our window on, we've got our hem folded in. Now we're going to do the bottom. And so as I look at this, this is the front to me. Okay? So I am going to tuck in the two sides, and I'm going to put some adhesive right along the edge here and close that up. And then I'm going to put some here and here. Okay, again, here's our front. So what I want for the front is I want to have this folded edge there. Okay, there's our box. And remember this little insert that we made? That is going to tuck right down in here. Slide it down for a stage for our mini jam jar to fit in. Okay, see that? All right, now we need to work on the lid. So the lid, hang on, let me get things back together. This is my original one over here. Okay. The lid, if you notice, it has some texture on it. And so what I did is I took a piece of cardstock, and I used thick white. And this is 4 3/8 by 4 3/8. And then I want to score it at a 1/2 inch and 1 inch on each side. So 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, half, 1, 1/2, 1. All right. So if you look closely. I think you can see that. I'm going to fold it on each of these so that you can see it well. All right, and then we need to do a little bit of snipping. All right, so what we're going to do, you can see this fold right here. We're going to snip right up, and the same thing on this side. Okay, so that we have, oh, let me cut this one a little bit more so you can see it better. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to fold that to the inside right now, and I'm going to do the same thing to this other side. Snip. And snip. All right, fold that to the inside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to work on this portion. But here what we're going to do is we've got that fold. We don't want to go on that. We want to go on the first fold and snip up here. And here. All right, so we've got that, and do the same thing over on this side. And this is just to make folding this whole thing easier. So there's the first ones that we did, that we went all the way up through both score lines. And then on this one, we just did to the first fold. And then the last thing that we're going to do here is we are going to cut this off at the score line. Okay, we're going to do that on each one. Now, if you opted not to cut these, it's fine. It's just going to be a little more difficult to fold things up is all. Because you're going to have a lot of thickness to it. And then one more. All right, so we've got all of those. So let me lay that down so you can see it. And then we're going to use the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder, and we're going to put this inside and run it through the die cutting machine, and then we end up with this. So again, I'm going to fold it this time with all that texture. I am going to use the bone folder, and we're folding on every one of these score lines. Now this is a step that you could leave off with the embossing folder. Or you could use one of the other designer papers, prints from it or whatever, but I just like the extra texture to this. Okay, so we have it folded on all. Now what I'm doing is folding those tiniest tabs inside, and I'm going to put some glue on each of these. Okay, and then I'm going to bring those corners together. So we're making the lid to the box very similar to what we did for the little insert, the little stage on the previous step. Okay. All right, so we have that together. Now we have these other pieces, and right now I'm just going to fold these each backwards just because it's a little bit easier access. And we're going to put adhesive on each of those. And fold them to the inside. Have you guys used the little jam jars at all? They're so cute. They come 6 in a box. Now I thought this little treat box would be cute. You, like, do it up with Halloween prints, and then you can get M&Ms that are Halloween colors, and that would be adorable to give to some special little ones. Okay, we've got that. I wanted to show you here also this paper, I believe it's called Wrapped in Christmas. I think this would be really pretty in it as well, with some red and green M&Ms. Okay, so anyway, here's our lid. Not yet, huh, Donna? It's getting close, you know. Okay, then our lid fits on there, but if you notice on mine, I've got some ribbon on here. And so we're going to use, this is the glittered organdy ribbon. This stuff is so pretty, and it ties the nicest bows. So let me just go ahead and tie one here. Look how pretty that bow is. All right, and then let me cut a little bit of length off of this. Okay, so this is going to go across the top, and then the ends are going to secure to the inside with some glue dots. So let's get these glue dots. I'll put some on each end here. I should show you before I let you guys go here at the end some Halloween packaging that I've got. Some are ones that I had made, and some are ones that some other demonstrators made from a Stampin' event that we had a few weeks ago. Okay, so I put glue dots on here and secured that to the inside. Then, let me get the little jam jar out. Thank you, Anne. I'm glad you like it. Now, do you guys have Dollar Tree stores by you? This little package of Hershey Kisses was $1. And let's see, it comes with like about 20 pieces in a package. And I found that about 13 of these fit in here and fill it very nicely. Okay, so we have those right in there. Insert it in and put our little lid on it. Isn't that just adorable? I love it. Now this paper has been on back order for a while. Last I checked, it is available to order now, as well as the silver paper for it and the sparkle ribbon. But, oh, let's see. Just to let you know, I have, oops, I can't see the whole thing. Let me go over here. I have your video for tying bows with that bow maker pin, because I always forget. Do you know that my video that shows how to tie a bow with the bow maker, whoops, is by far my most watched YouTube video, by far. So, I'm grabbing the Halloween treats here so I can show you guys some of these. Look at this. Isn't that cute? Now this was made by one of my team members, Kathy Chrysler, and this opens here. And then it's one of the tombstone boxes to put your treats in. Isn't that cute? Here's another one made with that. I don't have the name of who did this one. Here's another. This hangs on a door, and then all your little treats go in here. This was made by demonstrator Sharon Mallow. She's another team member. And then we have this little pouch. And that was made by team member Roseanne Basford. This one is a little matchbook cover, so super duper easy to make. I mean, look, it's a piece of paper, has the designer paper on it, and then you can stick like a mini package of M&Ms in there and staple it in. Those got eaten, can you tell? All right, what else have we got? This little box. Okay. So just all kinds of different things. How about this one? It's a little folded card with apple cider and then a spoon to stir that up with. This one is a pop-up box. Oops, and I stuck it. There's a treat would go in there, and then this folds back, so when you open up the box, it pops up. And let's see here. How about a little holder for some pretzels? Now, I wouldn't go to the extent of all this fanciness for every trick-or-treater, but you know there are those special trick-or-treaters that you want to do something special for. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing how to make this little treat container. And as I said, you can easily make it for any holiday at all. So I wanted to thank you for taking a little time out of your day to spend with me in my Stampin' Studio. So until we meet again, enjoy life, stamp something, and eat chocolate. Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye.